today. I'm Michelle London. Denver 7 News at 5 starts right now.
Sustainability is something that we should all strive for.
Pay for trash pickup and get free recycling in exchange.
We're charging residents for the behavior that we're looking for.
Denver's trying to cut down on waste in the city and would pass the cost to homeowners.
It's solely based off of the cost of service.
Plus, the Colorado Mestizo dancers are back.
It's great. It's really great to get everybody back together.
And they are ready to keep generations of culture and tradition alive, just in time for Cinco de Mayo.
It's generational for us, and it's beautiful.
And Denver police encouraging everyone to celebrate the holiday responsibly.
We encourage everybody to come out and enjoy the area.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us for Denver 7 News at 5. I'm Ann Trujillo.
I'm Shannon Ogden. Glad you're with us tonight. We're going to begin tonight with a former Loveland police officer who was just sentenced to 5 years in prison. Austin Hopp was one of the officers behind the violent arrest of an elderly woman with dementia.
Hopp could be seen on body camera video dragging 75-year-old Karen Garner after she was accused of shoplifting back in 2020. The video instantly drew criticism over police use of force, and it eventually led to a lawsuit, resulting in a $3 million settlement from the city of Loveland. As part of a plea deal, Hopp pleaded guilty to 1 count of felony assault back in March, and today, a judge also sentenced Hopp to 3 years of parole once he's out of prison.
All right, Denver might finally provide weekly recycling services for residents.
Right now, recycling is every 2 weeks, and Denver currently charges for composting, but now the city wants to charge for the trash instead, and Denver 7's Colette Bordelon is in studio with us going deeper on this new proposal.
So interestingly, the trash fee, the size of the fee is based on the size of the homeowner's trash cans.
Yeah, the goal is the smaller the trash can, the less you would actually pay because you'd be recycling or composting more of your trash. So the smallest trash bin would cost $9 a month, the next one $13, and then that largest $21 a month, and there would be no charge for recycling or composting carts.
I'm not an insect person.
Alicia Richardson never thought this is where she'd be. She calls it Princess Gardens Worm Farm.
This worm farm is currently diverting about 100 pounds of waste every week.
The technical name for it is vermicomposting.
So in each bin there are approximately 1,000 worms, and they love to eat.
What they're eating could have ended up in the trash.
We allow brown paper bags, kitchen scraps, coffee grounds, tea bags, things like that.
The reason behind this kind of sustainability,
I don't want to just throw this into the landfill,
is the same as a proposal from the city of Denver that would give residents weekly recycling and composting services. To pay for that, customers would be charged based on the size of the trash can they choose.
You'll see around the country that there are cities that have 2 and 3 times the rates of diversion that Denver does. And one thing that they all have in common is charging for trash.
Denver only diverts around a quarter of all recyclables or things that could be composted from our landfills. We're even behind the national average, which is 34%.
There is no earning money from this. The city isn't going to be making a profit.
The city and county of Denver serves nearly 200,000 households, and separating out what can be composted or recycled keeps organic material out of the landfills, which creates methane, a powerful greenhouse gas.
There's like a big pile of worms.
But Richardson hopes efforts like this don't lose sight of the people they impact.
Communities of color are probably going to be hit by this the most.
If this proposal becomes a reality, there would be a discount on trash services for low-income households.
Making sure that these communities have the space, have the resources to make sure that they have opportunities to be sustainable on their own.
Because those who practice sustainability on a small level,
they literally eat better than I do,
know just how critical it is to bring the concept to every community. Those at the city hope this would divert half of Denver's trash from the landfills. People could opt out of the composting or recycling, but it wouldn't change how much they pay for their trash. Now, if this proposal is approved by City Council, the new service and fee would start by the end of this year. Live in the studio, Colette Bordelon, Denver 7.
Interesting idea. Thank you, Colette. And this week is actually International Compost Awareness Week. So if you would like to learn more on how to start composting in your home, visit denvergov.org/compost.
Going deeper tonight, lawmakers right now are debating a bill that would boost the state's recycling rate, which sits at a dismal 15%. Under the Producer Responsibility Program, companies would be required to pay for the waste they create, and then that money would be used for a statewide recycling program. The bill has an exemption for companies that report less than $5 million in revenue. So with just days left in this session, the bill needs 3 more votes in the Senate to send it on to the governor's desk.
New at 5, there are 3 known finalists ready to own the Denver Broncos. Our Broncos insider Troy Rank says Walmart heir Rob Walton is still a front runner, mostly because he's reportedly worth nearly $70 billion and could take on the highest bid. Other finalists are groups led by Josh Harris, who owns the New Jersey Devils. Troy also says former Laker great Magic Johnson has reportedly joined the Harris group. Both groups have begun visits with the team. Of course, Troy says more potential owners could still emerge.
The U.S. Senate will vote next week on a bill that would make abortion legal across the United States.
But spoiler alert here, it won't likely pass. If the vote, I should say, would be largely symbolic since Democrats don't have the 60 votes needed to overcome a filibuster in the Senate. Now, this announcement comes just days after a draft opinion was leaked to Politico, indicating the U.S. Supreme Court could overturn Roe v. Wade. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer is still pushing for any Republican votes he can get.
Republicans will have 2 choices. They can own the destruction of women's rights, or they can reverse course and work to prevent the damage.
Outside of the Supreme Court building, a new 8-foot-high fence now surrounds the entire structure. Protests outside of the court have been largely peaceful since Monday night's leak. D.C. police expect more protests through the weekend.
A man is now in critical condition after being shot overnight by a sheriff's deputy in Jefferson County. Jefferson County Sheriff's Office says the deputy was responding to a call about someone being followed in Littleton. This is near Bowles and Wadsworth. When the deputy showed up and confronted, they say, 31-year-old Mark Madera, he began attacking the deputy, pulled a knife. The deputy fired. The suspect was taken to the hospital. The deputy was not hurt.
Lalma Lincoln Park in Denver is back open tonight after a week-long closure due to recent violence in the park. Last week, a 63-year-old man was killed while trying to break up a fight in the park at 13th and Osage. The city of Denver, excuse me.
All right, and the plan is for the park to remain open. All right, we want to get to some breaking news. This is a DPD vehicle, the one on its top there, flipped over. A live look from Air Tracker 7 right now. This is the scene near Raleigh in Tennessee. We know 2 officers have been taken to the hospital. Police don't believe, though, the injuries are serious. Police tell us this could be connected to a shooting. That shooting was near First and Knox. Obviously, a quickly developing scene right now. But again, this is in Denver. The car that is flipped upside down is a DPD vehicle. 2 officers taken to the hospital. So luckily, it doesn't seem like the 2 officers are hurt. We'll stay on top of this and let you know on air and over on the denverchannel.com. All right, today is Cinco de Mayo, and celebrations are getting underway here in the Mile High City. And after 2 years of pandemic-reduced celebrations, Denver police tell us they are expecting big crowds will be back this weekend.
You ask is that people just come out and be patient. There's going to be a lot of traffic out here. There's going to be a lot of folks, and we encourage those folks to just have a good time, but to do it responsibly.
Federal Boulevard will be reduced to 1 lane each direction from 6th to Florida today for the annual cruise down Federal. The lane closures will be in effect Saturday and Sunday as well. DPD will also be enforcing a noise ordinance, including loud stereos and excessive horn honking. Now, today celebrates the Mexican Army's victory over France. It was the Battle of Puebla, May 5th, 1862. And this weekend there will be a large celebration at Denver's Civic Center Park. Denver 7's Veronica Costa shows us a special group that will be there making an epic return.
The white, green, purple, red, and yellow skirts are more than just part of an outfit. They help define a culture.
It keeps families together.
These are the Colorado Mestizo dancers, back together after 2 long years.
It's great. It's really great to get everybody back together again.
The group, founded more than 30 years ago, is helping keep the Mexican culture alive.
It's important to the community that they not forget. And having a good background of where you came from and what your culture is, it gives you a good guideline to your future, you know what I mean? To set some good roots and to know where you're from and what your culture is.
The 7 girls in this circle are just starting to learn ballet folklorico.
If they can count to 3 and if they're potty trained, they're ready to go.
A role Idalyn Garcia knows all too well. She was one of the few born into the group, sticking with it for the past 15 years.
It's definitely showing like who I am, and like I'm not just some girl that's out there that knows nothing about her culture. I know a lot about my culture because of the dance group.
One of the many dances they perform, called Jesucita, is among her favorite. It tells the story of a woman who helped a group of soldiers fight in war. Holding on to their culture throughout the pandemic without dancing was easy. It was holding on to the venue where they practiced that was hard.
Having mirrors on the wall. That's one thing that we miss in a dance studio, is being able to have the girls see what they're doing with the skirt work and the right placement, because they can't necessarily see.
Despite the challenges, instructors and organizers say keeping Mexican culture alive by teaching these dances to new generations is the goal, and what they'll continue doing.
Look up, smile big, look over your shoulder.
In Denver, I'm Veronica Acosta, Denver 7.
For the family-owned business, $2,000, it's a lot of money.
A brazen thief hits Blazing Bird.
An Inglewood chicken coop is ransacked in the middle of the night.
If he gets away this time, there's a chance tomorrow he's gonna go to our neighbors and rob them.
Temperatures bounce back nicely today, even warmer as we head into the Mother's Day weekend.
And a very Colorado sponsor. We'll show you why this new pro sports team is making history.
We're really excited. Just the fact that that we're able to do this is such a momentous occasion.